life-changing, it's life-altering. Plan, research, change your personality, change your person. There's a lot of variety I could give you. I could sit here all day, but that narrows it down for me. Basically, it was a life-changing situation, it was. Before I knew about it, it wasn't really something that you'd know when you were younger and your mum would be going through it and you'd think, oh, what's up with me mum, or something like that, you know, like moaning and hot flushes, everyone like associated with that. That's all I knew. And then I just thought it was like part of a woman's change that everyone's going to go through. That was under the impression what I thought it was. Always was that for me. So basically, I'd suffered with my periods all my life. Like, the pain used to be bad. I'd be in bed and I'd be like flooded off my feet, stuff like that. And then back and forth, the doctors, they tried lots of things like tranexamic acid to stop the bleeding, colposcopy, burning the line in my womb, ablation, everything. And it'd stop and then it'd come back, the bleeding would be heavy, it'd be blood clots, it'd be this, that, in bed and all that. So then it got to the point where it was going on, hospital, back, forth, back, and then they said about a hysterectomy. And then I thought, yeah. And then she said, do you want to keep your ovaries? So I wasn't under the impression quite what that meant. And to be honest, they didn't really sit me down and explain it. So I automatically thought, yeah, if anything that stops the bleeding, you're going to say yeah. And if you're not like well informed and taught what the outcome's going to be after or before, you just think, I want it out. I want this to stop. So for me, it was yeah. And I did go through that. And then at age 40, I had my hysterectomy, everything out. My womb, cervix, tubes, everything, ovaries. And when they did open me up, which they did never know, they did find more endometriosis lesions and 5 centimetre cysts on my ovaries, which they couldn't find because endometriosis can stick anywhere, any organ in your body. So after searching, but it took them to like open me up, they found it. And that was when my journey with menopause started after that, surgical. So that was it. Basically, I came out of hospital, my surgeon came round, I was not given no HRT. I was told to go to your GP to get your HRT, and then it's mind-blowing. The onslaught of emotions are so fast, it's just unbelievable. Whereas if you're going to go through natural menopause, you're guided into it, so you're given a little bit of a warning, but I don't know, it's just like you go to bed, you wake up, and then it's just like, boom, like a different person. And then you think everything's like, I don't know. I mean, a lot of the times when you hear women in surgical menopause, you'll hear a lot of people in menopause say, I feel like I lost myself. And that's the phrase that I've heard from every woman who's gone through menopause. And that is it, basically. You lose, I think it changes you as a person. Because brutality, like the onslaught is just bang, right in. And now, it's actually changed me for a person in bad ways, but also in good ways, because it makes you realise things. So it has its ups and downs for me, really. So that was it. It changed me. I think I lost a bit of my personality, and I think before this happened, I went through my life as a bit of a, how can I put it? Like a victim, I think. Like life owed me something, but it didn't, because now I like value my life a lot more because of how bad it went, and I'd like look after myself a bit more. Whereas then I was like, I don't know, I'd almost say like childish in a way. It's made me grow up a lot as well, and like, I don't know, you just value your life so much more. So yeah, it does change it as a person as well. And people used to say to me as well, oh, you used to be really funny. Like, what's happened to your humour? And then I'd think, I don't know. That's just it. I've had people say that to me. You used to be really funny and now you're not. You're quite serious. But I don't know. Is that through the menopause? Is that because it's life changing? I don't know. So, like, probably the one that I did find was a love of exercise. Because believe it or not, when I went in to get me hysterectomy, they wouldn't do it for me because I was that overweight. And I had to lose 6 stone to get that, which I did. And then I found a love of exercise from it. So, which was one good thing that came out of it. So that for me was it, exercise. That was what like really like I enjoyed doing. So that was my benefit from it. I had a personal trainer for a while. I had planned meals, and she really helped me. Like she was going through it herself. We both were together, so I think that kind of helped because we could speak to one another. And like she'd push me because there was times when I just was like, no, no, no. And she'd be like, you're doing it, come on, come on. You know, just like really give me the motivation. And yeah, for me, it was exercise. It really, really helps if you can find someone who's gone through it a lot. And there's menopause groups, keep searching, do your research. There's quite a lot. And your GP, if you've got a good GP, and they know about menopause, or asking your GP if there's a menopause specialist, someone who can help you, word of mouth. There is groups, there's walking groups, there's all kinds, mindfulness, yoga classes. Like next week, there's one, like I speaking to a woman, she does breath work, never met her before, and she asked me my story, and I told her, and she said, I'd like to invite you to a class next week. And she's called I Breathe with Sammy, and she deals with menopause. There is help out there if you look. My relationship, it has affected it a lot. Not just like sexually, but well, yeah, that is the most thing really, because you sort of, it's just the last thing on your mind. You know, I'd rather eat a roast dinner or read a magazine. But then you've got to also think of your partner, and you think, well, put yourself in their position. And it's not easy, but that's what's been the worst affected for me, which is quite sad, really. I don't know, I think there should be some sort of counselling for a man, really, before the partner goes in. Just to like, you know, and it should be for women. Especially in surgical menopause, you should be counselled before and after to know what is going to happen, because no one tells you what the journey's going to be like and how bad and the onslaught of emotions. If you had a bit of a warning, it'd be better. And it should be available for men as well, I think, which would help. Doctors don't know enough about it, so men don't either. So it should be available for everyone. I had to give a job up after 5 years because my brain wouldn't function one day when I went into work, and I'd worked there for 5 years, and I just knew I was falling behind and I wasn't getting the work, and it was embarrassing. And I thought, rather than give them, well, my boss did take me in and he said, you know, Jill, you're not, and I knew. I just said, look, I know what you're going to say, and I decided to leave because I couldn't function. I could function, but I couldn't remember. I could sit there and I'd go, how'd you do this? Like the simplest of tasks. And I'd be thinking, how'd you do that? How'd you do this? And then I thought, no, it's just not for me. And then I left. I think all workplaces should have a menopause guide, and they should have a policy. It should be like rule. That should be it now, because especially now, because it's coming more to the forefront, menopause, it should be instilled in the workplaces right away. There should be like team meetings about it, you know, even like once a month or once a week, or they should have menopause cafes where you can sit and chat, stuff like that. But I don't think there is, but they should be. It's just more the brain function that I just couldn't get to grips with. It's just like, you know, sometimes say I'll be walking down the stairs, you actually forget to put one foot in front of the other, and then I'd go, well, where does that foot go? And then I'd go, Jill. You know, just stupid stuff like that. It's so stupid, but to you, you can feel it in your brain. You're thinking, And everything I seem to do, I question myself. Have I done that right? Have I done that right? And I'm thinking, what are you doing? It's just so, I'm just always in your head, and it's so weird. Research. That's it. As much as you can. Research anything. Word of mouth, websites, the lot, everything. Your GP, anywhere. Because you go into it thinking, oh, it's going to be the answer to everything. I'm going to be fine. I'm not going to bleed. I'm not going to have pain. I'm going to be this person and that person. And it's not. But if you have research and you know a bit about it, then you're off. You've got a bit of a head start to someone who knows nothing. Really. Yeah, I'd like to make surgical menopause more awareness, because when you see things about menopause, you'll see the stages of premenopause, perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause. You will never see surgical menopause or chemically induced menopause or early menopause. Nothing. And I don't think it's fair. And the reason why it's not is because people don't know enough about it. They don't take the time to sit and learn. I just don't think it's fair. I think it should be, all the stages should be named. And especially when you go to your doctors, I've gone to my doctors and it's a man, and I'm sitting and asking him about surgical menopause, and he gets a book out and looks in a book. It's a wasted appointment, and I've come away in tears thinking, what's the point? Then you've got no one, and then you go to menopause specialists. I must have spent over £2,000 seeing menopause specialists and come out none the wiser. So that's a waste of money that you can't afford to spend. So there's not enough awareness about it, which is really sad. And you'll speak to other women who are in surgical menopause and they're the same. It's really sad, and it should be brought to the forefront a lot more. So I've tried a lot. Magnesium glycinate for your sleep, vitamin D, vitamin K2, stuff for bones, because they say osteoporosis is common with it. It's just do your research, really. I mean, the programme that was on not long ago where it showed you the Star Power gummies, and not one of them had nothing to help. It was just all marketing, weren't it, really? Why not make something and try it on women who are suffering with menopause, like trials, tests, stuff like that? Or well, there was that brought out a menopause shampoo. How can a menopause shampoo help you through menopause? Which I don't get. Stuff like that. And people, I mean, I know it's coming to the forefront, the awareness, but I feel like people are just jumping on the bandwagon as well. A shampoo for your hair, I just bewilders me, the stuff that's coming out. But why though? Why not take zinc for your hair instead, which is a supplement? For your skin, they say collagen, but it's just whatever works for you, isn't it, really? But my hair's ruined from it. I used to have thick hair, and now it's like barbed wire and falls out. So I've started up on my zinc because I don't eat a lot of red meat or eggs. So I'd rather take the supplement. But yeah, there is a lot you can take. Black cohosh, you can take stuff like that. Magnesium glycinate, there's quite a lot as well. What else? Calcium tablets, you should be taking calcium tablets. Vitamin D, vitamins, all your vitamins, and vitamin Bs as well. People forget to go and get the cortisol levels checked, which I had to get mine at the beginning, and mine would double through the roof. And that wasn't caused through my adrenal glands, that was through the stress of the menopause. People don't associate stuff like that, because your doctor won't do them. You have to pay private for them. There's all kinds that can go with it. So it's a lot. But yeah, because then it will have been tried and tested. So yeah, it would be. It is just a lot of it. It just does a lot to your body. I don't think people realise the amount of pressure it puts on your body and what it does to you internally as well. It's just a lot. So just do your research as much as you can. I know, you think at the time, I can't be bothered, I just want to do this, I just want it over with. But if I knew now what I knew then, I would have researched a lot more. Oh, quite bad. I have been on antidepressants for years. I did try and, well, you know, do something stupid to myself, but that was a while ago because I was in the depths. My mental health was on the floor. Because I've had a battle up and down with HRT, as they say, to find your sweet spot, and I still haven't for 4 years. So I'm still through the journey where I feel me again. Some days I do and some days I don't, but now it's got to the point where they're saying I might have something like called MDD, which is manic depressive disorder, through my ovaries getting took out. So I do take antidepressants as well, and I don't know if they're helping. I don't know. You know, I'm just clinging to that hope where I think like this is going to help me in this, because you're that like, not should say desperate, but you just want someone to come and grab you and go, Jill, you're going to be okay. You know what? This is going to work for you. But I don't know.